Hello everyone and welcome to Great British Banter. I'm Sir Lagalot and this is Hellion. Now imagine one of those posts on Nightgang where it says combine the last two games you've played and what do you get? And I would go with Star Citizen plus KSP because this is set in the star system of Hellion and the entire thing is governed by Newtonian physics. The engine spans across the entire galaxy. It comes from, planets moving around the star, all the way down to objects floating around ships, or in space. If they're not on a ship, they're just going to float away. So the setting is that you are a character who is formerly an employee of Altair Corp, and this is one of the largest corporations on Earth, and they have just, Earth has just been going through some reunification wars. And so at the end of these, everyone's decided to band together and create this expedition to a new planet because Earth is overcrowded. But Altair Corp is still the largest shareholder of this operation. So during transit, obviously something goes wrong, you're not entirely sure what, but you wake up and the supposed colony is in ruins. That you're on some tiny little shuttle, you wake up from your cryopod and you're in some little ship which won't survive. Eventually things will break and you will die unless you go out and find materials, find resources and make a living for yourself. So you've been asleep for almost 100 years and this tiny shuttle you have has anything from oxygen generators to fuel pumps and warp drives and all sorts. And you've got to maintain all those systems individually. They each have various components which have to be replaced and over time become worn down and eventually break. So you either have to sort of fabricate new ones or salvage them off other pieces of station components which are just free floating in the void. You have to go out and find them, you have to learn how to navigate and get there. So there's no standard computer system in Hellion. There's no sort of like space engineers just go into the menu, just turn it back on or whatever, turn it off and on again and reset it and stuff. No, you have to go and find access panels for each component. You have to, open them up, look around, see what's broken, be able to identify the components and then be able to replace them. So there's no skill tree as such. There's no experience gain apart from what you gain as a player. So if you work in the engine room and you repair the engines again and again, you'll learn how to operate them more efficiently. What immediately needs fixing, what's absolute dire need of being replaced, or what can you live without to trim down your resource consumption. So there's no, magical, oh look, you can now shoot straight and hit things from 5 miles away or something. No, you have to actually learn the game, which I quite like because it's based upon real life skills. The same for piloting, the same for shooting and everything else. As well as mining. Yeah, there's mining in the game, so you have to fly across to asteroids using RCS, and then you can either have a hand drill, which requires batteries and cargo storage, cargo canisters, which need to be replaced, or larger ships which have inbuilt drills. But obviously you don't start on one of those ships, so you have no choice but to go out and hand drill and accumulate enough resources, and if you're lucky you will find a drill ship which will make things faster, but it consumes more power and it has more needs. It's its own ship, so it needs to have exactly the same maintenance requirements as a large ship. The sound design in Hellion is also completely realistic. It's designed to make you feel alone in this great expanse, and I think it does a really good job of that. Obviously the game doesn't come out until later on this month, January 2017, but the sound system is supposed to make you feel as if you're really far in the future. If you're in a vacuum, you can only hear the sounds going through your suit. So if you're walking, you can hear your feet on the plates, but nothing else. And if you're inside an atmosphere, well not an atmosphere, but if you're inside a pressurized environment, then you can hear everything. You don't need radio communications or stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure that your radio, if you are out on an expedition, your radios can break down as well. So if you're alone in your suit and your radio breaks, you have no choice. This to me is one of those games where you don't use other things like Discord or TeamSpeak in between. No, you just play the game, and then that dictates how fun it is, how immersive it is. Because, you know, you don't want to just cheat and hop on Discord and start chatting to them through the voice chat, even though your comms are actually down. So, once again, this game is supposed to come out later on this month, in January, and they actually have a features chart now where it shows you how far they are completed. A lot of things are actually complete. I'm looking forward to actually seeing when this game comes out. It should be pretty soon. A lot of things are completed, but the thing is, this isn't a chart of you know, when it's going to come out. This is a chart of things they want to complete. So it's either completed or work in progress, and the things which aren't completed might, you know, come after release. So they're going to get it to a point where they feel it's suitable, then they're going to release it, then they're going to continue development. They seem to be very receptive to the community and stuff like that. They're really looking forward to getting some feedback, which is really nice because I'm looking forward to giving some and just saying what an amazing job this is. I mean, the graphical fidelity on this game so far is fantastic. It's just really well designed. It looks good. The gameplay looks fantastic, and it looks really realistic, which I like. I enjoy that. But not so realistic that it's tedious, like Life is Feudal or something. Furthermore, the game is planning to have a full sort of survival system, so you can encounter radiation, you can encounter sort of obviously other hostile players. There's a lot of potential threats out there. The vacuum of space is obviously deadly. If you fly too close to the star, I suppose they are working on an actual temperature system where you can die if your ship loses power and it gets too cold, or if you're too close to the star and it gets too hot. And I suppose if your suit loses power as well, you could also get a bit chilly. There are meant to be 3 types of transport system in Hellion. There is RCS, which is for sort of close up to a station. You use that to make slight adjustments in rotation and movement, or momentum even. There is main engines, which use sort of chemical fuels, so basically traditional rockets, which can hop you off from one planet to another. There is also the warp drive, which is designed to let you sort of hyperspace off to another planet or across the other side of the star system without too much fuss. But once you're there, it's presumed that you'll have to actually correct your velocity, kind of like how in KSP, once you drop out of warp, you're stuck with the velocity you had beforehand, so you have to adjust it depending where you pop out. Overall, I'm really looking forward to this game. I absolutely insist that you check their guys' website out, and also the Steam Greenlight link. It offers pretty much the same information, but then you can follow them, and then when the game does come out, you'll be first to know, I suppose. There's also an interesting sort of crafting and resource system in Hellion. You have these little canisters which can be stored on your backpacks, which store everything from air to materials and stuff like that. So what you do is you take that off and then you plug it into a terminal, and then resources are transferred to and from. And if you have unrefined resources which you've harvested from an asteroid, then you have to process them before they can actually become usable. So if you have a refinery module somewhere, but it's disconnected from the rest of your ship, what you can do is you can take your little backpack, fill it with resources, go and process them at the refinery, then take them back to the ship, and then leave with the refined resources and use it as either fuel or air or whatever it is you've got. So overall, I'm really looking forward to this game. They seem to be very good people with a tremendous amount of work already done. You know, who knows how long it is before this game's actually completed. Hopefully it's within the next month or so, because I'm getting itchy to play this thing. So there you go, that is my assessment of Hellion. I will leave the links for their store page on Steam and their website page down below in the description. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you disliked it, please leave a comment to let me know why. Please support me on Patreon if you feel like I am worthy of your praise. And I hope to see you all next time. Later.